address has ancient roots dating back over 1,000 years to the formation of the Great Law of Peace by a man called the Peacemaker, and perhaps before that. Today, these words are still spoken at the opening and closing of all ceremonial and governmental gatherings held by the Six Nations. A speaker is chosen to give the Thanksgiving address on behalf of all people. They choose their own words, for we are all unique and have our own style, with a general language tradition. It follows an order in which we can relate to all of the creation. The address is based on the belief that the world cannot be taken for granted, that a spiritual communication of thank goodness and acknowledgement of all living things must be given to align the minds and hearts of the people with nature. This forms the guiding principle of culture. We believe that all people at one time in their history had similar words to acknowledge the works of the Creator. With this in mind, we offer these words in written form as a way to reacquaint ourselves with this shared vision. You are invited and encouraged to share in these words. Concentrated attention might help us rediscover our balance, respect, and oneness with nature. Now in words of war.
Gabapentin is bringing you closer.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today for our first annual Indigenous and Native American Heritage Month celebrations. My name is David Scott, and I'm the Chief Diversity Officer from Monroe County. And one of the things that I find that's very important is for us to make sure we're celebrating all cultures that have lived in Monroe County and share space in Monroe County. It is important that we acknowledge history. It's important that we acknowledge uniqueness. It's important that we acknowledge contributions of all cultures that have made this great county what it is today. Native Americans started all of this for us, so it's important for us to acknowledge that and make sure that we are giving the respect that the culture deserves. So speaking of respect, we started off the program with the Thanksgiving address for the Haudenosaunee Nation, and that is something that is customary to do before any other activities happen in Native culture. So that's why we started with that video. But at this time, I would like to invite up Angelina Hilton to do a land acknowledgement, And then after that, we will bring up County Executive Adam Bello. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Angelina Hilton, and I'm a member of the Sac and Fox Nation of Missouri and Kansas and Nebraska, as well as a descendant of the Iowa tribe of Kansas and Nebraska Buffalo Clan. My home nation is 1,300 miles away from here. So, I am a guest on this land. We all are guests on this land if we are not a part of the Seneca, or also known as the Onondaga Nation. This land in which we are gathered here today is one of the 6 nations of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. And so I'd like to just begin to acknowledge that the work that we are doing here today is super important and crucial to building these relationships and reparations with the original inhabitants of this land. So thank you very much for having us.
Thank you, Angelina. And now I'd like to bring up the person who started it all in terms of bringing importance to culture and diversity, equity, and inclusion, and making sure it was part of the charter for Monroe County, our county executive, Adam Bello.
Thank you, David. Good afternoon. It's wonderful to be here with all of you today. I'd also like to start by acknowledging the president of the Monroe County Legislature who's joined us today, Eversha Roman. Let's thank you, President Roman, for being here today as well. And I think I have our county legislators, right? Okay. But thank you all for being here today. November is nationally recognized as Native American Heritage Month, and we gather today to celebrate Native American history and culture and the vital role that it has played in the development of Monroe County. As we know, this area was home to the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and we see the significant impacts of the Seneca and Onondaga nations all around us, from my hometown of Irondequoit to the Ganondagan Historical Site just over the county line in the town of Victor. One of the great contributions of the Haudenosaunee people was their impact on governing structures. They were the first practitioners of representative democracy. The multiple nations that made up the Haudenosaunee Confederacy worked together peacefully to govern despite cultural differences and vast geography. We share the ideals of democracy, honoring the voice of the people, and we welcome friends of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy to celebrate Native American Heritage Month here in Monroe County Office Building for the very first time. Monroe County's strength. Monroe County's strength is derived from the diversity of our residents and the vast contributions to every sector of modern life that they bring here. And this is really one of my favorite things that I get to do as county executive, and why I'm so proud of our team led by David Scott, our diversity, equity, inclusion team, for bringing us together regularly throughout the year to celebrate the various cultures and traditions of the people who call Monroe County home, so that we can pay our respect, we can celebrate, and we can understand the background and the diversity, the cultures, the music, the food, and the holidays, all the things and traditions that our people bring with them from around the world. We celebrate that in Monroe County, and I think that's a big piece of our strength. And so I'm really proud, David, of you and the team for this years-long activities that we've been having here in these performances. And I want to thank in the performance we're going to see here tonight, and I want to thank those who are watching from home as well from tuning in. Now, this month we recognize our friends, neighbors, and leaders of Native American heritage and the impacts these individuals have made on our society. People like Arthur Parker, who was the director of the Rochester Museum and Science Center, and he served as a consultant on Native American affairs to presidents, President Teddy Roosevelt, William Taft, Woodrow Wilson, and Calvin Coolidge from right here at the Rochester Museum and Science Center. Martha Farrer, former director of the Native American Cultural Center and a renowned artist. And Perry Ground, the former director of the Native American Resource Center at RCSD, who was named the Frederick Minute Professor at RIT in 2021. These individuals, along with other community leaders, including those who joined us today, exemplify the talents and contributions that our Native American neighbors bring to Monroe County. And then we can't talk about Native American Heritage Month without also recognizing a history that has been marred by hardship, discrimination, and violence. It is a tribute to the resilience of our Native American neighbors that they continue to be a thriving part of our community, serving as advocates for justice, equity, and belonging. Today, Monroe County honors the many contributions made by members of Native American communities. We embrace their cultures and learn from their histories, not just as a reflection of our shared past, but as an enduring part of our collective future. We must ensure that Native American voices are heard, the heritage is celebrated, and their legacy is preserved. So, Angelina, I'd love to have you come forward here for a moment. We want to thank you for being here in Rochester and Monroe County today. And I have a special proclamation that I'd like to present. I'm going to read the last three stanzas, but I'd like to present this to Angelina. And it says, whereas Native American communities have demonstrated extraordinary resilience, creativity, and strength in preserving their traditions and cultures, leaving a profound and lasting impact on our shared history. Contributions to arts, science, government, agriculture, and environmental stewardship have shaped our nation and continue to influence our daily lives. And whereas Native American roots are deeply embedded in American soil, so this month and every month we honor the strong and enduring cultures and contributions of all Native Americans and recommit ourselves to fulfilling the promise of our nation together. This month also provides an opportunity to educate ourselves about the histories, cultures, and contemporary issues facing indigenous communities. And whereas Monroe County reaffirms its commitment to honoring the sovereignty and rights of Native American peoples and partnering with local indigenous communities to preserve their stories, traditions, and contributions for future generations. So now, therefore, I, Adam Bello, the Monroe County Executive, do hereby proclaim November 2024 to be a month to recognize Native American Heritage Month in Monroe County and call upon all of our residents to recognize Native American communities and to celebrate alongside of us. Mrs. Oh, you're so very welcome. My pleasure. My pleasure. And then we turn it back over to David.
Okay. Now, part of Native American culture is also dance and music as well. And today we have Hoops of Hope and Resilience that will do a dance performance for us.